Yes.
I do not accept my nomination as vice chair.
No surprise.
Okay, so is it okay, is everybody comfortable if we just do a roll call vote on this? Right. I know it's awkward. We can do a secret ballot if somebody wants to tear up some paper. But that's what I'm just asking. We're all adults. Our feelings going to be hurt? I don't think everybody, so. Okay. So, roll call vote, does anybody feel like we have to do this by secret ballot, or can we do a roll call vote on the? Okay. All right, Laura?
Listen.
Senator? Bob?
Myself.
Derek?
Listen.
Bob.
Josh? Bob? Okay, Michael? Lissa?
Can I vote for myself?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
I will.
Okay. Did you voted for yourself? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to abstain.
Listen.
Lissa.
Lissa.
Abstain.
Bob.
Bob?
Alyssa.
Okay. I believe the Lissas have it. Is that correct?
I lost count. I'm sorry. It went pretty fast. My apologies.
Okay. So, unless there's a dispute, I believe the Lissas have it. But do we need to go back and re-record? Because we need to record this for the minutes.
You have it? Okay.
Awesome. She's got the...
Our
okay.
note recorder has it.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
That's why we have her.
So, I gladly... Josh, do you want to take over from here, or do you want me to finish out the meeting?
You go ahead.
Okay.
It's over anyway.
So, any other general public comments to the panel? Okay.
He speaks.
It was reported, I don't remember where in the press, I read that someone, I think it was a member of this panel, was of the opinion that the panel should be dissolved. And does anyone on the panel know anyone on the panel have that opinion or know if that was expressed in the media?
The reason that I voted against my chairman now, who I look forward to working with, is because I thought that had been expressed at the NRC meeting, and that alarmed me.
Okay. So it was at
But
the
maybe I misunderstood.
Okay. I guess a straight question. Was it your opinion that this panel should be dissolved?
I think she misunderstands a lot.
I wasn't basing it on what she said. It was something I read, I thought I read or heard in the paper. So no.
No,
Okay.
you seriously doubt you ever read that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other public comment? All right, scheduling, okay. So we have on here scheduling a November 2019 panel meeting and wrap up. If we could do November, I think that's a good idea, so that we're not starting to get into, I just know in December we seem to have weather issues and everything else. So, Tony, did you have any, have you already do you have a notion just based on having coordinated this for a while?
Well, just going by some of the feedback, I know we're trying to avoid conflicting now that Josh Unruh, especially now that he's chair, that we would want to avoid Vernon's select board meetings. So that rules out the first and third Tuesday of the month, if I remember correctly.
You are correct, but it also rules out the first and third Wednesdays of the month now that we are in budget season.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. So, hold on here, I'm making a little tally for myself here. So you said first and third Wednesdays.
Thursdays used to work pretty well for folk.
Yeah. Looking at those restrictions, and also assuming that we do not want to attempt to meet on Veterans Day because it's a holiday and most of our spaces will likely be closed. I think we're looking, if we want to do Thursday, we're probably looking at either November 7th or November 14th.
And we also just need to take into account how fast the Issues Committee can get together and deliberate.
And if we want to look at Mondays, we're looking at November 4th and November 18th. I don't know if we want to go to November 25th because that is, we're getting into the week of Thanksgiving.
We may need to look at December. We may, I just muttered to the world. We may need to look to December. Again, taking into account, just trying to get the Issues Committee, how long it's going to take to herd the cats to get them in the room.
Exactly.
I'm just basing this on experience. Right after I said that maybe December shouldn't be, I'm just going to throw out there.
December 5th?
That's what I was going to suggest.
I agree, December 5th.
Anybody not? Does that work for most people? All right. Hey, look at that.
Hallelujah.
I may be able to call in.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bill. Do you is that a are you able to call in, or do you need us to reschedule around you?
I don't think so. I'm taking away from what I know on this legislation
So, sounds like December 5th. Awesome. And Tony will schedule the Issues Committee. All right. Any other thoughts, anecdotes, anything else anybody want to share before we adjourn?
I just have one. I was remiss earlier in not publicly thanking Tony for his work on that summary history. He did produce that in our office.
I want to thank Chris Campany for being a great chair for the past year. He brings so much knowledge, but more importantly, he brings a level of decorum to the panel that I've always appreciated. The level of respect between members of the panel has been always exemplary, and I hope it will be carried out in the year ahead.
I second that sentiment, except I know it's going to be carried out in the year ahead.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Oh, you're welcome. We have a motion. Second? All right. Thank you, everybody. See you in December.
We're going to call the meeting to order at 6:30. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from October 8th, 2019.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from October 8th, 2019, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Additions or deletions? We need to add under new business, Beck Engineer, or under new business, use of town hall, and federal pilot settlement. And then under old business, we need to add Beck Engineering, Bridge 43. Are there any other additions or deletions? Okay. Then moving on, let's go into the warrants.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 1, payroll, in the amount of $11,851.06. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying payroll warrant number 1 in the amount of $11,851.06, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 2 out of payroll tax in the amount of $5,072.56.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying payroll tax warrant number 2 in the amount of $5,072.56 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 3 out of the general fund in the amount of $49,428.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 3 in the amount of $49,428 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 4 out of the general fund in the amount of $14,944.72.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 4 in the amount of $14,944.72 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 5 out of the highway fund in the amount of $40,500.
Second.
Any discussion?
That's gravel crushing.
Yes.
Yes.
Any other discussion? All right, then hearing no more, all those in favor of paying highway warrant number 5 in the amount of $40,500 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 6 out of the highway fund in the amount of $15,345.14.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying highway warrant number 6 in the amount of $15,345.14 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 7 out of the equipment fund in the amount of $1,680.88.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying equipment warrant number 7 in the amount of $1,680.88 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. So moving on to the reports. Highway?
At the last meeting, I asked the board if I could get a dumpster, which we approved, and I did do. That took about 1/3 of the pile away. So if I could get another dumpster or 2 and get it cleaned up before winter, then I would like to do that if possible. Every culvert down there that's metal I've already crushed, so I'm comfortable that I can finish with 2 dumpsters between metal. And all the plastic ones I slice in half with a chainsaw and stack them up in the dumpster, so minimize the amount of air that we're shipping. But that's what it'll take to clean up the pit, 2 more dumpsters.
What did it cost for the last dumpster?
So I don't have the exact price because there's the drop-off and pickup fee, which was $200 and change, and then it's $115 a ton. So maybe there's 2 ton in the dumpster, so it's going to be $400 and change.
I make a motion to get 2 more dumpsters and clean up the pile down there
Second.
at the town pit.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of bringing in 2 more dumpsters to clean up the used metal and plastic culverts at the town pit signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Currently, we're grading in West Townsend, and also we're ditching on Simpson Brook. The project that we're working on in Simpson Brook is one of the very high priority segments identified by Wyndham Regional, and it requires the 8-inch minus stone ditch that we approved to purchase at the last meeting. I did receive some of that already. We have done some of that work already, so we are working on segments of high priority. Also, in the last week, I received V-Trans's Better Roads grant program for 2020. I have filled out a grant request for what's called the Category B. It's a continuation of cleaning ditches and stone lining. I've identified segments, a total of 7 segments on 2 different roads. The Category B grant maxes out at $20,000 with a 20% town match. So the project could go as high as $25,000. We would be reimbursed $20,000. It's all filled out. I've worked with Alan May from V-Trans, and all I'm waiting on is a letter of support from Jeff Nugent of Wyndham Regional that would help us get this approved. Approvals would happen in March. Monies would be available in June, and we would have till the end of the year to complete the project. It does require your signature, Kathy, if we want to move ahead with this.
So does someone want to make a motion that we continue to apply, what's the interest
The
rate?
Better Roads.
Vermont Better Roads Grant Program for the ditching and et cetera,
So moved.
That's for a category A,
further,
so we're applying for
We're for
category B. Correct.
okay. So a category B grant for better back roads, or better roads.
What's the difference in the categories?
So A would be for major culverts. First of all, A is to have a road erosion inventory done, which we already have. B is for ditches and culverts, and then C gets into much larger projects.
So B is basically mitigation of all those runoff pieces. So for a category B, better roads grant. So that's been motion
Moved,
made
yep.
and second. All those in favor of submitting the grant once we have the applicable letters of support, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Yeah. Motion passes. Where the
You
heck
signed
did-
page 12.
Oh, okay. I wasn't gonna get there anytime soon then, was I? 13, 16? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now one thing you're going to want to remember is to build, when we start talking budget, to build that money into special projects.
Thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions on the highway? No? This is not the end of the month then for the town clerk's counter report, so then moving on to the treasurer.
In your sweep account, you have $1,213,936.29. In the checking account, you have $29,055.22.
Any questions? No? Then there was no correspondence. We did receive, well, I will take it back. We did receive several pieces of notification, but we've listed those elsewhere on the agenda. We did, for budgetary purposes, receive a letter from the sheriff that we asked for with the rates to consider as we start talking about law enforcement for next year. So there was no other correspondence. Members of the public, we have none. So then under old business, we added Beck Engineering, Bridge 43. We have received the engineering plans back. And with it came an estimate of the total cost of the bridge built and delivered. And I want to say, now I'm going to have to try to remember, was it 110,000, Carla? I told you earlier.
Yes, I believe it's 110,000.
That was the estimate on that bridge.
Building and installation.
No, that was just building it and delivering it. So, again, talking about the spring and what you want to do, the structures grants are usually submitted in I believe it's the spring.
Yep, spring.
And so you're going to want to, number one, look at building that in to the budget, to the highway budget for next year, see if we can get a grant to get that bridge replaced. You now have your study, and we're going to need to do the closeout on that grant, Carla.
The engineering study grant.
Yeah, that there should be a grant, we have to find it and actually close out the grant so the town's reimbursed the money
Okay.
for the cost of having that study done. Okay, so that's taken care of. Then moving on to new business. We received information from the state of Vermont, Department of Parks and Forests, that pilot for this coming year has been actually increased for the first time in what seems like forever. We're expecting to receive $7,684.60 this year, as opposed to, I don't know what we got previous years, but that's what the anticipation is for this year, $7,000.
And that's for 1,100 acres of land and
That
the
is,
facilities and the,
that's not the dam. This would be the state forest.
all right.
Okay, so this is the state-owned lands. For state forest, all of it.
Yeah.
So it'd be a total of, my math's roughly 12.
It says right on the bottom, 1244.
Acres in the
And
parks.
they, and they say it's valued at $1,364,000.
Mm-hmm. They're paying $7,000 in taxes. In
That
lieu
should
of
make
taxes.
the large landowners happy.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, we received that piece of information. And then on the backside of that from the feds, we also received a notification and a check that the federal government had in fact underpaid us by a sum of, how much did they underpay us? Darn it, where the heck is it? Total underpayment, Mr. Cover, total underpayment. Your total underpayment, okay, we were underpaid by the federal government $104, and after court costs, et cetera, we actually recovered $70. And we have received a check from the feds for $70 for their underpayment on, I'm not sure if that's the forest. Other than the dam.